Today, we're getting into the Hogwarts-sized drama around the new Harry Potter TV reboot on HBO Max. J.K. Rowling is praising the scripts, actors are getting caught in political crossfire, Stephen Fry's out here burning bridges, Ralph Fiennes is talking tights. If you're into unfiltered commentary on pop culture reboots, hit that like button and subscribe. And yeah, there's a lot to cover, so let's dive in. J.K. Rowling's first approval. Alright, let's kick this off with the woman who started it all. J.K. Rowling. If you thought she'd take a back seat while HBO rebooted her billion-dollar baby, yeah, that's not happening. Let's clear this up. She's not writing the scripts. That job's in the hands of showrunner Francesca Gardner, known for Succession and his Dark Materials. But Rowling is deeply involved. She's not just signing checks and disappearing. She tweeted, "I read the first 2 episodes of the forthcoming HBO Harry Potter series, and they are so good." That's in all caps, with 3 SOS, not subtle. Then someone asked if she's writing the series herself. Her response? "No, but I've worked closely with the extremely talented writers." So what does that mean? Think of her as the consultant who walks into the writer's room, drops the lore Bible on the table, and makes sure they don't mess up wand mechanics or kill off the wrong ghost. She's reading scripts. Giving feedback, she's there. According to HBO CEO Casey Bloys, she was even involved in selecting the core creative team, Gardner as showrunner and Mark Mylod, Game of Thrones, Succession again, as a key director. That tells you a lot about the level of influence she has. Rowling's also still credited as an executive producer, alongside names like David Heyman, who produced the original films. So even if she's not typing the dialogue, she's in every major decision room. This show carries her approval stamp. And yeah, this isn't just about nostalgia or creative continuity. Rowling's still a lightning rod for controversy, and HBO knew exactly what they were doing by keeping her this involved. It's a strategic choice. Risky, sure, but intentional. So if you're wondering whether this reboot is a Rowling-free zone, spoiler alert, it's not. She's not just peeking behind the curtain, she helped sow it. Snape versus Rowling? Let's talk about the Papa Esidu situation, because this is where things start to get messy real fast. So Papa, the actor cast as Severus Snape in the HBO reboot, signed an open letter criticizing the UK Supreme Court's recent ruling that trans women are not legally considered women and trans men not considered men. The letter was a public stand for trans rights, and a big chunk of the British entertainment world supported it. As soon as the news broke, Rowling critics were quick to ask, is she gonna fire him? Well, Rowling got wind of that real quick and jumped on X to shut it down. She said, "I don't have the power to sack an actor from the series, and I wouldn't exercise it if I did. I don't believe in taking away people's jobs or livelihoods because they hold legally protected beliefs that differ from mine." So she's drawing a hard line. You can disagree with her politically and still work on her show, but that hasn't stopped the heat. And then there's Stephen Fry. Yes, the Stephen Fry. The dude who voiced every Harry Potter audiobook, who's been close to the franchise since day one. For years, he defended Rowling, even when others were cutting ties. But recently, he snapped. On a podcast, he said, "She has been radicalized, I fear. Perhaps by TERFs, but also by the vitriol that is thrown at her. I'm afraid she seems to be a lost cause for us." Translation? He thinks Rowling went down the gender-critical rabbit hole and got hardened by the backlash, and he's done defending her. He also added, "She says things that are inflammatory, contemptuous, and mocking. They add to a terribly distressing time for trans people." It was one of the harshest public rebukes Rowling's gotten, and from someone who used to be in her corner. So how did she respond? Classic Rowling style. She didn't name names, but posted, "It is a great mistake to assume that everyone who claims to have been a friend of mine was ever considered a friend by me." That's ice cold. That's Game of Thrones dialogue. She's essentially saying, "You were never my people." And just like that, another former ally cut loose. Cast walking the line. Let's talk fan reactions, because right now the Harry Potter community is split harder than a Horcrux. On one side, you've got the die-hard fans who are pumped to see a more faithful adaptation of the books. They're ready for Peeves. They want SPEW. They want the stuff the movies skipped. This group's all in, no questions asked. But on the other side, there's a huge and loud segment of the fandom that wants nothing to do with the reboot. They're done with Rowling. They're calling for boycotts. They're dragging anyone who signs on to the show, especially younger fans. A lot of them don't want to support anything that has Rowling's name attached. This tension has bled into the casting too. Several of the new actors, like Papa Essiedu and Nick Frost playing Hagrid, have had to clarify that their personal views do not align with Rowling's. Frost even said, "My opinions don't align in any way, shape, or form with those of the franchise creator." And this isn't just new blood feeling the pressure. The original cast is feeling it too. Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint have all publicly criticized Rowling's comments. Daniel even wrote an open letter supporting trans rights back in 2020. He was one of the first to publicly break ranks. Emma used award shows to make statements about trans inclusivity, and Rupert said he's not okay with some of Rowling's views, but still respects her as the author of the world that changed his life. Rowling? Not impressed. She said in an interview, "I would not forgive them. Save your apologies." Brutal. But not everyone is taking a stand. Tom Felton, aka Draco Malfoy, played it safe. When asked about Rowling's controversies, he said, "I can't say it does impact me. I'm not really that attuned to it. I just think Harry Potter brought the world together." That's Draco diplomacy right there. He didn't want smoke. So yeah, the new show hasn't even started filming yet, and the lines have already been drawn. Some fans are excited, some fans are furious, and almost every actor is walking a tightrope trying to keep their career from being swallowed by the discourse. HBO shrugs it off. So with the fandom on fire and J.K. Rowling being... Well, J.K. Rowling, you'd think HBO might be sweating bullets, right? Nope, not even close. If anything, HBO's acting like none of the controversy even matters. Their CEO, Casey Bloys, has gone on record multiple times now, basically saying they've heard the noise and decided to just ignore it. Here's what he told the Town podcast. "The decision to be in business with J.K. Rowling is not new for us. We've been in business for 25 years. We already have a show on HBO from her called CB Strike that we do with the BBC. In other words, we've worked with her before, we're still working with her, and we're not changing that now." And when asked if Rowling's views might secretly sneak into the show, it's pretty clear that those are her personal political views. She's entitled to them. Harry Potter is not secretly being infused with anything. If you want to debate her, you can go on Twitter. So yeah, HBO is doing what corporate does best. Stay neutral, avoid lawsuits, and pray that the content speaks for itself. They're banking on nostalgia, world building, and a clean-looking product to carry this. That said, this isn't just a cash grab. This is HBO's big swing. The reboot is going to be a massive long-term project. 7 seasons, 1 per book. Each season will dive way deeper into the source material than the original films did. Think of everything that was cut in the movies. SPEW, the deeper politics at the Ministry, more Dursley drama, more Marauders flashbacks. All that's coming back. And the timeline? Production officially starts summer 2025, and Bloys says the show will premiere sometime in 2026. That gives HBO a solid year to build the hype. And believe me, they're going to ride that hype train hard. Plus, with Francesca Gardner running the show and Mark Mylod directing, HBO is flexing its Succession muscles. If they can bring even half that writing energy into Hogwarts, we might actually get a great series. If it doesn't get derailed by the off-screen drama. Voldemort's tights and Oldman's regret. Let's wrap this whole chaos pie with some character and a little comic relief from the OG legends themselves. Starting with the Dark Lord of Wardrobe Malfunctions, aka Ralph Fiennes. He was asked by Entertainment Tonight if he had any advice for whoever ends up playing Voldemort in the HBO reboot. And instead of something deep like understand the psychology of evil, Ralph went straight to costume problems. Here's his actual quote. "Make sure you can handle the long flowing robes and don't trip over them. Practice your long flowing robe walk. I wore tights. Initially they were one piece with a gusset, which kept getting lower and lower through the shooting day and became uncomfortable. So I said I wanted individual tights like a garter belt. I enjoyed teasing the stunt guys by lifting up my robes and showing them my garter belt." I mean, I did not have Voldemort wore a garter belt on my 2025 bingo card, but here we are. And then we've got Gary Oldman, the OG Sirius Black, who apparently was kinda jealous about the reboot, specifically the role of Dumbledore. In an interview with Variety, he admitted, "I would have fancied a go at Dumbledore, but they're probably not going to go anywhere near anyone that was connected to the original." And he's right. HBO is making a clean break from the film cast. No cameos, no legacy actors. They don't want comparisons. They want a fresh slate. Instead, they cast John Lithgow, yes, an American, to play Dumbledore, which, triggered some backlash. A lot of fans wanted to keep the role British, considering how much the wizarding world leans into UK culture and accents. But Lithgow's got serious acting chops, The Crown, Dexter, Third Rock from the Sun, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of headmaster energy he brings. Either way, it's wild seeing these veteran actors openly talking about what could have been. And it's a reminder that even the people who helped build this universe still feel attached to it. Final thoughts. So that's where we're at. Rowling's in, the fandom's fractured, the cast is controversial, and Voldemort's tights are back in the spotlight. What do you think? Are you giving the new Harry Potter series a shot, or are you out completely? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed the deep dive, and subscribe for more no BS breakdowns like this one. See you in the next one. Peace.